What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Real Bodybuilding Podcast. This is episode 186, and I'm here with Logan Franklin. How are you, man?
What's up, man? Doing all right. Thank you.
I'm happy to finally have you on. I've been asking you for like 3 years.
Yeah, this is my second podcast. So,
You're a harder get than fucking Jay Cutler, Dorian Yates. But no, I'm fine. I'm happy that you finally decided to take the time. Why don't, just out of curiosity, I've always wondered with some people, why do you avoid podcasts or not necessarily like doing them?
man, I feel like I've been pretty closed off to the industry, I
Right,
guess. I don't know.
right.
I've tried to be within it, but not within it in a way. I don't know.
Is
Just
there
keeping it myself, really.
Is there, I know some people like doing that. Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason you want to like only
Well, I
give a
guess I've
piece of
had,
yourself?
yeah, I guess I've had bad experiences with some people over the last 11 years that I've been competing. And just over time and after having starting a family and and all of that, I just backed away more and more,
Yeah.
tried to just get away from everybody, I guess.
Do you think like when you look at somebody like Chris, obviously being kind of set the standard for classic, do you think now that people are talking about you in those terms, like, you're I personally see you as a top five guy, and not to like pump your tires or anything, but like I love your physique. I think it's one of the best physiques in classic.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
if people are seeing you that way, do you think that you have to open up a little bit more and kind of show more of yourself? Like, do you feel like that's going to happen if you want to be the premier classic guy?
Um, I don't necessarily know. It shouldn't be a popularity contest
Yeah,
or whatever. It should just be a game of talent.
yeah,
And
makes sense.
I want to go and win and deserve the win, not off of who I knew or who I spoke with and was friends and connected to and all these things.
Right.
Uh, I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes it would be nice for people to actually kind of know a little bit more about me in a
Yeah.
way. I know there's a lot of uh, I don't know, stigma. People have their opinions about me just from pictures and whatever they see on Instagram.
Right.
And then I see people commenting like they think they know me. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, well,
Well, it's funny because I went through your Instagram and I'm like, I've seen some things. I see military things and car things, and but most of it is just you posing. Most of it is just like Logan physique, and that's kind of like you don't give out too much. But
yeah, like I said, over the last however many years, I've just slowly pulled back
yeah,
on everything, social media and everything, you know.
right.
I'm I'm already introverted in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen,
uh
I'm happy that you're on. I'm happy that we do get a chance to talk and get to know you a little bit. You just won the Florida Pro. You
yes.
are now qualified for the Olympia. You were very close, in my opinion, to winning the Olympia or winning the Arnold earlier this year. I actually had you winning it. And one of the things I want to get into with you, and I know this isn't up to you, but I'd like to get your thoughts on it, is classic criteria. So at that Arnold, you competed with Mike Sommerfeld, and the way classic criteria seems to have moved is it's almost, to me, the way I look at it is almost like bodybuilding with a weight cap.
Yeah.
They're no longer, it's not that they're not looking at shape, but they're not looking for that unique shape. And I'm not saying Mike is not classic. The way he poses is very classic, but his muscle bellies almost lend themselves more to a bodybuilding style, in my opinion. So I guess ultimately the question I'm asking you is when it comes to the IFBB and the criteria and how you would like to see classic portrayed, are you looking for more of a let's find that unique classic shape, or are we looking for who can fit in the weight cap with the most muscle possible?
Well, I'm definitely not going to say who can fit within the weight cap with the maximum amount of muscle and or muscularity. Classic physique, whenever I think of that, whenever I think of that being said,
Yeah.
I think of an old school shape. And what I mean by that is completeness, is proportions, and not necessarily muscles that have been grown so fast. And that is what I think has been happening so much these days is guys are just blowing up way too fast.
Right.
And I've been training for a very long time, and I've purposefully taken my time to grow, knowing that I could get really big if I wanted to in a year or however long. I would just do certain things that I know other people would do.
Right.
Right. I don't know if we really need to get too far into that, but
Right.
um, I think the rushing is what's making the shapes different,
Right.
rather than separations in the quality. And I like I like to think that classic should be, having every muscle completed, which is bodybuilding. So whenever I hear you say, should it be bodybuilding? Yes, it should be bodybuilding, because classic is still bodybuilding, which should be the completeness of the muscle, but everything to make sense in a proportion factor, the proportion aspect of um, not having one body part that just overstands out and just is so freaky and impressive. Yeah, sure, but then the muscles around it are
Yeah.
subpar or don't make sense. Um, no, the flowing, it kind of flows but doesn't. And um, back to the guys getting big quick, you know that's the problem, I think, with the size issue and the separations, like size separation. People try to chase the quantity,
Yeah.
and then they completely lose the quality, and you can't go backwards and get the quality. But
I,
if
but just sorry to interrupt you. Just to go back to the original point was the IFBB's criteria seems to have it seems to have shifted in my opinion because like if you're talking about the most complete uh physique that fits under the weight cap that still has nice shape, Breon would have been better than Chris in the early Olympias where they competed together because Chris still wasn't complete yet.
right,
But they gave it to Chris because of his unique shape.
right,
Whereas now it seems to have shifted to who's the most complete, not who's got the most unique shape. And I think it's this, I think people online are having this debate about do we want Classic to be the most complete guy or do we want Classic to be the most unique shape? And when I see you and when I see you and Mike at the Arnold, I see you with the most unique shape and I see Mike with the most complete dense muscularity.
right.
So I guess I'm just asking you, what do you think the standard should be in Classic?
Well, I think it should definitely have a combination of the two. And it shouldn't have, you know, just because someone is fully maximizing the shape, I guess you could say, which is just the muscularity. I
Right.
don't think that should always trump someone with,
Okay.
the unique shape.
Right.
Because say you have a guy that has the unique shape, but the quality is out of this world.
Right.
Every single muscle is separated.
Right.
Lines between the separations, not just the major muscles. Oh, this guy's got phenomenal quad sweeps, but then there's no detail.
Right.
Or this guy's arms are massive, but why do why they look big, but there's something off? Oh, because the proportions of each individual muscle isn't correct. Like
Right.
maybe brachialis is way too big, or too big of forearms, not enough biceps,
Right.
throws the arm off in a different way, not enough triceps. How are the proportions of your triceps set up? Do you have too much of your lateral head, not
Right.
enough
Right.
long head? So these are the things that come into play
Right.
whenever I think of, you know, setting up proportions and what should be superior to the other. But whenever I see someone that has all the muscle, I want to see the separations too. Like I want to see the quality rather than, oh, okay, well, he got big, but then this guy that is taking his time with the quality will eventually be superior if he continues to just take the same route of quality. And
Right.
that's why I think it should be a unique shape and quality, but still having the factor of the completeness
Complete.
because it is bodybuilding. Like
Right.
you have to have every muscle completed
Right.
because if not, then it just doesn't look right. It doesn't
Do you
float.
do you think you're there? Like when we talk, a lot of people are talking about classic now that Chris is gone, and they're like, okay, well, Mike is the heir because he was second, but not necessarily because you were very close with the Arnold. Terrence hasn't competed against him yet. There's a lot of guys coming around the corner, so Ramon looks a little bigger. So what do you think is the standard now for classic? Like what are they gonna where are they going with it?
Hmm.
Because you guys, sorry to interrupt, but you guys all kind of have a little bit different shape. Like you look different than Ramon. Ramon looks different than Mike.
Right.
Terrence is very unique in his own right. So, what do you think should be the standard for classic now? What's going on, everybody? I had to interrupt the podcast because I wanted to let you guys know about an awesome deal right now. If you get to hostile.com, we are unloading the warehouse for some new stuff. So if you go to the front page, click final sales, shop clearance now, it'll take you to this page. All of these are marked way down, like the Forge T, for example, $32.99, marked down to $19.99. And I believe you can also use athlete code on top of that. So we have some really nice t-shirts. We have some joggers also marked down from $45.99 to $15.99. So you can get some great deals now. Go to the front page, click the shop clearance now, and get some great deals. Hostile.com. Get there now.
You know, just like you said, everyone has such incredible shape. Those names mentioned, you even have guys like uh, 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 Joe Sima or
Yeah.
Hosema.
Jose Maya, or however you pronounce
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Nile, he's got phenomenal shape too.
Yeah.
So you've got plenty of guys that have the look. I guess a lot of it's going to be how do we look next to each other?
Right.
How does it really look next to each other? How is the posing? How is the quality?
Right.
Who has the quality? Who is there? And like we were saying, like I was mentioning earlier about the size, you're here with the size, but do you have the quality? Do you
Right.
have the deep separations? Are you able to display that physique?
Right.
Are you able to move or are you blocky and stiff? Are you stuck in the mud?
Right. Right.
So what is it? Um, I don't know who's gonna nail it on the day. Who's gonna rise to the occasion.
Right.
That's really I don't
Do
know.
you
It's
do
hard to say. It's really hard to say. It's subjective sport.
do you see yourself in that top five at the
I
Olympia?
really do. I see myself fighting for the title, and
Okay.
I fully see it, and I see it so clearly. Like I've already lived the moment. That's how I see it,
Right.
and I'm gonna have that vision stay like that, and no
Right.
matter what anybody's gonna say, even after they hear me speaking this on this podcast, nothing that anyone's gonna say in comment is going to stray my belief in myself.
Right. Right. I want
Um,
to I want to ask you about one of the things I love about your physique is, and we don't see this often, but we see it more with classic than open, obviously, but your condition is kind of outrageous. Like at the Arnold,
thanks.
Jose Ma, or however you pronounce his name, somebody's going to correct me, I'm sure, but he's the only one I know that kind of gets that same level of conditioning as you. But I've never seen a peak that done that well. Like it wasn't just a matter of being extremely conditioned. It was the muscle was really full, skin looked really tight, thin. And I know Patrick coaches you. So
Yes.
how long have you been working with Patrick? How hard is it for you to get into that extreme level of condition? Is that something you've always done, or is that something you and Patrick have worked together on?
So Patrick and I have been working together for uh, going on a year and a half now.
Okay.
So we've really gotten to understand each other and how we work and operate. So I feel like we are just really starting to click phenomenally as a team. Um, in terms of the conditioning factor, I have always believed in just the continuation process of dieting and eating wholesome, nutritious foods year round,
Right.
not having off seasons where I just blow up and I gain 30, 40 pounds. Excuse me. But staying relatively lean, and making lean gains, slow gains, but I still feel like I make enough to where I can just slowly pack on here and there, here and there. So I
Right.
always had the idea of the longer I continue to just diet and be in this cycle of this metabolic cycle with the proper foods, and while doing this over the years, continuously learning how to do it better,
Yeah.
continuously trying to seek out higher quality food sources and how to eliminate unnecessary ingredients in your diet, and whether that be seasonings that you don't realize you're using seasonings that has all these other additives that can be creating internal inflammations, and just whatever it is, just trying to really
Yeah.
understand the real health factor that you can learn from bodybuilding
Right.
in the life extension aspect of it. So,
So, so
sorry, go for it.
no, no, I was just gonna say, so your philosophy is stay lean. Like I've noticed through your Instagram, and I kind of peered through it. I went pretty far. What you're saying is 100% true. I've noticed like I never see you out of shape,
Right.
and it looks like it's really funny through your Instagram. It's just like little by little by little by little, you've just developed all this muscle, and it's just it's very very interesting how consistent you've been as far as like what it looks like.
Thank you.
But I'm interested in the level of conditioning. So I want to get into a little bit of the X's and O's. When you're dieting, I'm not going to say you take 16 weeks because from the sounds of it, you're like kind of in a diet phase
Year round.
yeah, all the time. So I'm not going to say 16, 12 weeks, whatever.
Right.
But as you get into prep, okay, in the off season I'm going to use seasonings, and then there's a point where that gets cut out. Like where does stuff start to get pulled from the diet to get to that extremely thin skin look, or is it never really just stuff's the same all year round?
The last couple of years, I've been trying to just be more of the same year round,
Really?
meaning the moment I'm able to pull it, I just leave it out as long as possible.
Okay.
Like sweeteners,
Yeah.
Splendas in your coffee in the
Right.
off season, even. I got to the point where now I can just drink black coffee
Right.
year round and be fine if I want
Okay.
to. Uh, Things like before, I would drink coffee in the off season, add a little bit of creamer or some Splendas, relax, do things like that,
Right.
which will, maybe not so drastically, but subtly add internal inflammations and just all
Right.
these other things that can, um, kind of hold you back from fully being able
Right.
to recover, or whatever other things you're doing, with, so we could say steroids or
Yeah. Yeah.
other other things you're putting into your body. You want them to work better rather
Right.
than, yeah.
What about things like sauces and things like that? You pull all of that? Is it just like when you're eating, is it just like steak or fish or chicken or whatever it is, and then the carb, there's no seasoning, no nothing. You're going as like you want your body to get it as whole and the least amount of excess possible, so it's pure as possible. Is that what you're doing?
Right. Yeah, essentially that's exactly correct. I
Yeah.
don't use sauces, ketchups, sugar-free ketchup. I don't use the sugar-free I don't use mustard or hot sauces or anything. Whenever I cook my food, I post it on my Instagram. I always get people that are trying to figure out why am I not seasoning my chicken, but I'm just putting salt on it.
Salt's enough. Yeah. Well, I guess
Yeah,
listen,
so
it's funny because there's a lot of people, and I've heard this over the years. A lot of people say, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You can get shredded without it." And I have seen people get shredded while eating, condiments and whatever, but not that level.
of course,
Not
yeah, you can make
that
meals.
super super thin skin.
Yeah,
There's only a very very few people I've seen get there.
thank you.
So I'm wondering, like, is that Is that it? Is that the reason why there's that small amount of people?
I would say a lot of the polish and to getting your body into the ultra extreme, like you're talking about, the condition, a lot of it is, eliminating that internal inflammation.
Right.
Because if you have internal inflammation, you're going to be holding water regardless. Even if
Right.
you're trying to do all these other tricks and things, diuretics and manipulate your water, your sodium, raise it, lower, all whatever coaches and other peaking protocols and people experiment with, whatever they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
If your body is internally inflamed, from ingredients or ultra processed foods or whatever's being poisoned into your body over the last however long you've been eating this type of way,
Yeah.
it's going to stick there.
Right.
And once I really started being able to eliminate that and all of these other outside things that I really don't need, then it's like my body really started to respond and do exactly what I wanted it to do.
Yeah.
And
It's funny you said that because a lot of people think, well, I'll cut all that stuff out at 2 weeks out. Like the general thinking thought process anyway in the open class and guys I've trained, guys I've worked with or friends I've known or even in my own career is okay, I'm going to have the sweeteners, I'm going to have the condiments, I have whatever. And then at 4 weeks out or 2 weeks out or whatever, I'll cut it out.
yeah,
What you said there, I just, it clicked really is that's really important is the inflammation from these things when you're eating them for a certain amount of time doesn't just disappear in a day.
right,
It can take weeks for your body to return to a calm state, I would say, or a non-inflammatory state.
right.
So I guess cutting them out at 4 and 2 weeks out can help, but it's not going to get you what you the
True
level
desire.
you're trying to achieve. Yeah, that's really it's really interesting the way you put that. So more in detail, I'm just curious. Are you a high fat guy, low fat guy? Like, do you do a lot of carbs and no fat, or do you blend the two? How does your diet? What's the makeup of your diet?
Moderate fats, moderate
Moderate.
fats.
Okay.
Like 5 grams of olive oil, meals 2 through 5, and then
Hmm.
meal one would be an egg, a whole egg.
Yeah.
Meal, I'll have a red meat meal, and sometimes depending on where we're at within the prep, I'll have salmon. So I'll
Okay.
wild caught Atlantic salmon.
Right.
I don't do the farm raised garbage.
Of course.
That's
Yeah.
another thing. Like I said, the higher quality foods.
Right.
So, my fats are there. The
Yeah.
average, like 40,
Okay.
40, 50 grams of fats a day. My carbs, I definitely am not starving. I am well fed. I have no
What's
reason to complain on my food.
what do your calories look like at 4 weeks out, 5, 6 weeks out? Do you know?
Now, I absolutely hate that question because I don't count my calories ever.
I know most bodybuilders don't. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
change
yeah.
it. I'll change the question. What do your portion sizes look like? Can I ask you that?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
So like, are you doing like
so okay,
four?
so I was eating 350 grams of jasmine rice meals 2 through 4 and 200 grams of sweet potato meal 5 plus 130 grams of oats and a large banana with meal 1 every
Shit,
day, every single day until about 2 weeks out
dude, that's a
from
lot of
on
food.
this prep. And the only days that were different than that day was my rest days, which would be just
Lower.
subtly
Yeah.
lower. So I'm getting peeled on eating, 2 cups
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
rice every
Yeah.
meal
Yeah.
and 400 to 500 grams of carb days, and this
That's
is
a
what
lot, man.
I'm eating. Right. And
Right.
that's why I say I'm not suffering in terms of
Yeah.
eating food. And I
Right.
never have to drop my carbs below 300 grams of carbs a day,
So
probably.
would you say your physique, were you a fat kid growing up at all or no? Or
No.
you're always a lean guy?
Right.
Okay. So this is can you say it's partially genetic?
Yeah, it could be, but I
Like
would say
you've maximized. Like this is a genetic trait that you've
maximizing it.
maximized. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say,
Yeah.
but the amount of consistency over the
Of
last
course.
11 years I've been doing this,
Of course.
of and now the first maybe 4 or 5 years was not near as disciplined and consistent. Those first probably 5 or 6 years, maybe I was doing what we've been speaking that everyone does.
Right.
Whenever I'm not competing, I'm enjoying myself. I'm eating whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm using sauces and cutting things out only the last couple of weeks. So I
Yeah.
was doing that too.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I can tolerate a little bit more of it of an extreme dieting
Yeah.
style, and then
Yeah.
just slowly getting my tolerance to the point where it's just like, fuck, this guy's eating fucking plain food. What's wrong with this guy?
No,
You know?
but it's nice to see because a lot of times when guys have a genetic gift, they rest on it, right? So you could be shredded, like you could be average shredded, probably without working as hard as other guys maybe because you're genetically gifted towards this. But it's nice to see somebody that has a genetic gift that's maximized it. You're like, you know what? I'm already pretty lean. I can fucking take this shit to its full max, right? So you're like, you've gone all the way with your genetic gift. What does training look like? Are you a high volume guy, low volume guy?
I'm definitely a volume guy.
Yeah.
I train alone,
Yeah.
and I've trained alone for many years. Sorry, I got a cough. Hopefully that doesn't destroy your ears and your headphones. So I like the volume. I don't go crazy heavyweight.
Right.
However, I am trying to increase the weight, so I'm not trying to train like a bitch. I'm, but I'm training in a way that's methodical and where I'm able to feel all the fibers, feel the muscle move, uh, and figure out how to move it better every single time. I'm always trying to think about the mechanics and and how can I squeeze and move the weight better. Um, so volume, and I've
Yep.
always noticed that the 12 to 15 rep range of my sets was
Yeah.
always a better set for me.
Right. Right.
Once I was able to get that muscle to pump and really pump, and then with the lighter weight and more volume, you can really feel whatever muscle it is you're training actually release at the end of a movement. Like say when you're in a stretch, you want to allow whatever muscle to almost have this release, but
Right.
then to re-engage. And you want to be able to feel when you re-engage every single fiber, connect and separate and then fucking contract.
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know? And I like to train with a weight where I'm able to really feel this every single set,
Right.
or as many sets that I can. It's not going to be every set that you get it. You're going to have shit sets. Sometimes you're like, what the fuck did I do? You
Right.
didn't set your posture correct or whatever. But that's my training style, and
So,
just taking it as far as I can.
so you're not doing, are you doing a lot of failure sets? Like if you walk into the gym and you're doing chest, what are you doing? Four exercises, three exercises? Are you doing three, four sets per exercise? How does that, what's the breakdown really quickly? I don't want to go through like every rep, but like,
I don't overcomplicate it.
right.
There's times where sometimes I'll do 7, 8 sets of an exercise.
I've been there.
I'm serious, like on a
I've done
test.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And I go, why do people try to hurry and rush to another exercise? If this exercise is getting exactly what I need for, let's say, upper chest, for example, if I find the right angle, the perfect angle to get specifically this part of my upper chest shelf, and I want to ice pick right there, I'm just going to stay in this movement.
Right.
I'm just going to keep trying to pump it, volumize it,
Right.
because that's what is going to grow the muscle, not just, oh, I'm going to hit 2 sets, hit it for 6 reps as heavy as I can, and then move on.
Right.
Okay. Sure, you trained and you got stronger. And in a way, you were able to expand the muscle,
Right.
which makes you bigger. It makes you take up more space. It gives you that silhouette. But then you turn the light on, and then you have this individual squeezing through the muscle and then there's no lines.
Right.
Why?
Right.
It's because they didn't they didn't feel it and they're just rushing it. And that's why I feel the volume works better for me, because I'm always imagining like flexing and posing and what I'm gonna be presenting with that muscle that I'm
Right.
training. So
It looks like you spend a lot of time posing and
yeah,
practicing like feeling your body in space, like knowing where you are and how things look. How much time do you actually spend doing that? Because I know one of the things I noticed, obviously you've been following Ur's move to open, and one of the things I noticed is Ur's presentation on stage was different than the other guys.
right.
So and it's obvious that it's a classic thing. You guys are, judged on the way you present yourselves more so, I think, than open class bodybuilders. How much time do you spend practicing that facet?
I spend an awful lot of time, and it's just because I think I'm absolutely obsessed with trying to be the very best that I can. I'm fucking driven, man. Like I want this so bad that I will spend hours in my garage, because that's where I'll do it, trying to figure out how can I get better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because I've had so many times where I've fucking failed over the last decade of my life, and still believing that fuck, I can be the best.
Right. Right.
I have this shape in my mind that I can create. I want to be I believe I can get there. How do I get there? And then just having this belief over and over. So I've gotten to the point where I don't care how long I'll sit out there. As long as I've done what I need to do with my family, make sure
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
taken care of. Uh,
When you
all,
say when you say failed, is that anything but a win?
no,
Like when you say I've failed so many times, what
right.
exactly are you talking about? Are you talking about all the times you didn't win?
I'm talking about all the times that I've made a mistake that has did uh, that has slowed down or made me have to challenge myself, my mind, and challenge. Okay, how do I go from here? Okay, and correct things to improve myself, not just from a bodybuilding aspect, but from as a man.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, a failure is not, oh, you're a failure, but yeah, okay, well, I didn't get quite what I fucking wanted this time, but I'm gonna go for it again. I
Right.
failed, but I'm gonna continue going.
Right.
That,
Right. Right.
that.
Right. Right. And it's funny, you remind me a lot of Cedric. I don't know if you ever met Cedric, but the way you think is a lot like Cedric. It's interesting. While I'm talking to you, I'm getting like this it's almost like it's reminding me of him a lot. And anyway, um okay, so you said 11 years ago. I want to go back a little bit. I'm going to go actually all the way back. How old are you?
I'm 34.
And siblings or no siblings?
I have I have a few, but
Uh,
my family my family's quite broken. We're all over the place.
Okay.
So yeah.
You want to leave this? You want to leave this part out?
Well,
Or you can
yeah,
leave it out. You can leave it
it's
out.
whatever. Yeah, it's
It's fine.
whatever. I mean, it's whatever about it.
Did you go to college or no?
No, I picked up a rifle.
Picked up a rifle instead. I want to get into that because I'm fascinated by the military. Anything military, I'm like totally fascinated by it. So walk me through it. So you finish high school?
Yes.
Okay, so
Luckily.
you finish high school. Well, I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter to me either way. I don't judge people on their academic fucking history. Anyway, so you finish high school, and then how long do you take a year off, or is it right away you knew you're going to the military?
I joined the Army actually in an early enlistment program.
Okay.
Whenever I was 17, I did the senior enlistment program. Um, so I went to basic training literally a month and a half after I graduated high school. Yeah.
So you knew you're like, I know I want to do this.
I knew I was, yeah.
Why the need or urge or what was it that made you want to do it?
Um, I mean, my whole family is military,
Okay.
generational service. You know, grandparents, great grandparents, very far back. You know,
Right, right.
um, so I was around a lot of it. You know, my family's very patriotic.
Sure.
Um, so I also grew up watching like war movies and playing airsoft and paintball with my friends in the backyard and running around and
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. And we thought we were warriors at the little age, you know.
Right, right, right. That's awesome.
Uh, so it was like, I guess all of that just kind of led up to getting out of high school and saying, well, this is definitely what I'm gonna do. I don't want to go to college. School sucks, I
Okay.
gotta get out of here. This was the idea.
So walk me through it. You sign up. When you sign up, how long you know how long you're going to be there for? So how long are you there for when you sign up?
I enlisted for 5 years.
Okay, so it's
Five
almost
years
kind
active duty.
so it's kind of like college, just maybe a little longer, I guess.
Right.
College is usually 3, 4 year programs.
Two to
So
four, I think it's 2 or 4.
yeah, so you enlisted for 5 years. What is I really have no idea how the military works. When you sign up, what happens? You go to like
Okay,
basic
so
training. Walk
well,
me
yeah,
through
you
it.
gotta go through like MEPS, which is like medical stuff. I don't know how to explain all that. Then you fly to your basic training location, go through basic training, which I don't know how long it is now. It used to be like 9 weeks, then it moved to like 13 weeks long. And then after basic, you have advanced individual training. And this is if you're in the army. The
Okay,
other branches have their all of their in processing ways, I
sure.
guess. Yeah, so then you have your AIT. So if your actual job that you enlisted for, you have specific training,
What did
advanced training
what
to
did
that.
you enlist for?
So I enlisted as an MP, a military police officer.
Okay. So what does the training look like for that? What do you have to do?
Well, it depends. Like past basic training is like the same for the most part
Yeah.
across the board. It's basic training.
Right, right.
Then AIT, I guess you learn. It's been a very long time because I didn't do my job either. That's what's funny. Like I joined the military as an MP, and I never did MP work.
What did you do?
I worked PSD. So
What's that?
once I got into my unit into we would say real army,
Right.
um, I got stationed with Second Brigade, Fourth Infantry Division. Like that was my unit, and I was in an MP platoon. So there was one MP platoon in this entire division,
Right.
and it wasn't a road working platoon. It was like we were there with this unit. So I was with them for maybe 6 months or so, and then I got selected to be a part of a team called PSD. It's a Protective Service Detail or a detachment. It's essentially just a small team where you protect like your battalion commander
Hmm.
or brigade commander, battalion command sergeant majors, the higher ranking individuals whenever
Yeah.
they want to go outside of the wire or whenever they need to go and speak with village elders and all
Right.
of these in these situations we're the team that goes with them and makes sure that they come
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
alive.
That's awesome.
So that's what I did whenever I was in Fort Carson. After I got home from Afghanistan,
Wait, don't skip over all that. That's crazy. First of
uh,
all, easy question. Did you love doing it?
I love doing that. I love
Yeah.
doing that.
When you were so
The
where
military, there's a love-hate relationship with everybody in the
yeah, yeah.
military.
Where did you go? You went to Afghanistan?
Yes.
How long
Yeah.
were you there for?
2011, 2012, so like a year.
Okay. How was that experience? How was that experience? Is that crazy or what?
It was wild. One of those experiences that you don't feel like it's ever going to end. And
Yeah.
you're there, and it's the longest year of your life. You're like, fuck, am I going to come home from this?
Yeah.
It's a it's a experience, especially at 20 years old.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's a
That's
lifetime ago
crazy.
though.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So you were 20 doing that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was Afghanistan intimidating? Like the terrain, meeting, like I don't know if you went to Taliban meetings or like, is that all stuff? Like I'm not trying to make it sound like a movie, but like, was it? was it intimidating or was it awesome? Like, how did you feel like while you were doing it?
Um, I'm not gonna. Definitely wasn't intimidating. I mean, I was ready to do my job. I
Right,
was. We were all highly trained,
right,
and if you're trained and you're trained well, you're going to be confident, and that
right.
confidence is what's going to carry you.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I mean, the fuck, it was just hot, so hot over there. Of course, it was either so hot or it was so cold. So, uh, yeah,
Uh,
nothing like too intimidating though.
Yeah. All right. So you come back from Afghanistan, and then how much longer are you in the military after that?
So I came home from Afghanistan, and I still had 2 years left. I
Okay.
still had 2 years in service.
Sure.
And then I was still in Fort Carson, Colorado for about 6 months. And then I got sent to South Korea, and I was working PSD for General Thurman, who was the commanding four-star commander of the peninsula.
Sure.
So that was really
But
cool.
there's nothing unsafe in South Korea. Like it's all safe there. Like
Yeah,
it's not a war zone. So you're pretty like that was it. Would you say that was an easy thing to do?
yeah, South Korea. I mean, that
Yeah.
was in 2013.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Kim Jong Un or whatever,
Yeah.
North Korea, they were trying to flex some things with Obama at the time.
Right.
I actually remember whenever I first got there, I think I was there for about a week, and
Yeah.
these sirens went off, like those
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
woo,
Air raid sirens. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that went off super super loud, and I had no idea what was going on, so
Right.
I kind of got nervous then.
Right.
But then come to find out, it was like some annual drill that they like
Right.
yearly they'll do some
Yeah.
siren.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a easy one. I probably could have enjoyed it more,
Yeah.
but whenever I was at that point of my enlistment, I was ready to get out. I was
Really.
ready. Yeah, I was ready to figure out the next thing in life.
Yeah.
Um, and
Looking back at it, Logan, do you think was it great for you to experience like seeing different parts of the world? I'm always a firm believer that like it's good for you to get out of your own country and see other things
yeah,
and meet other types of people, other cultures, whatever. I feel like it makes you a more well-rounded person. So, and it doesn't mean you have to love your country any less. I just think it's good to just know what the rest of the world looks like. So, do you think when you look back at it and you look back at your career in the army, do you think it was great for you to be able to go to Afghanistan, go to South Korea, and see other parts of the world and meet other people from other cultures and all that? Like, how much did you experience South Korea? Did you get to really like live there and experience the culture?
yeah. Of course, I lived in South Korea for 14 months and a couple of weeks. It was like 14 months and 2 weeks total time that I was in South Korea.
Yeah,
So I experienced a little bit of it, or as much as you could. We had curfew. We had to be back on base by
right,
like 11 o'clock every single day. So
right,
couldn't really experience too much as you would if you were, say, a civilian over
right,
there and just having fun.
right.
But I had a decent experience.
Yeah.
Enough.
I
I
don't
had
mean,
enough.
yeah, I don't mean like partying and stuff like that. I just mean like just seeing other
Yeah,
cultures
seeing how they
in the
live.
way
Of
they eat, the way they speak to each other,
course.
the way they interact, like that kind of thing, right?
Right. Now, I'm definitely happy that I've been able to experience other cultures
Right,
and how lesser fortunate people live
right,
every single day of their lives, and the reason why I'm grateful is because I can have a lot more appreciation for the things that I have now
right,
or the things that I had
right,
before I went in, like growing up where we're at. We're so blessed to be here in
right.
the greatest country.
Yeah,
And that's an experience that not a lot of people really get to have,
yeah,
especially here in America, where there's so many people that feel entitled to whatever and are just, man, people have no clue how good they have it,
I know, I know. So
So,
at the end of that, after South Korea said you're ready to get out,
yes.
Now, where did you start training? Did you start training in the military? Did you start training in high school? Like did you play sports in high school? Like where did the training enter your life?
Well, I played sports growing up, all through my childhood. My dad worked out. Uh, we had a home gym at our house, so I kind of started hitting some weights at about 14 at the house. But in athletics in seventh grade, so however old you are in seventh grade, was technically whenever I first, did an exercise. But I'm not going to count all that. I'm not going to
So
count
like
back
12
to
years
there.
like
Yeah,
12 years old.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever people are like, "When did you start working out?" I usually say 14
Okay.
because that's whenever I started working out in our home gym,
Yeah,
and I would train every other day, something small
sure.
for like 15 minutes.
Right.
Didn't know what the hell I was doing, but my dad was like already telling me like you want to train for quality, and he was putting in my head, how to have volume
Right, right, right.
and I graduated high school. I think I weighed 160 pounds. Uh,
Shit.
yeah, yeah. And
So when you graduated high school at 160 pounds, did you start training more heavily in the military? Like, I don't know how much free time,
yes.
I don't know how much free time you guys have. So you started going at it a little harder when you were in the military.
Oh, yeah. Well, once I got to about 17, 16, 17, I really started trying to get a little bigger. I wanted to look good for the girls
Hmm.
and all that. So
Yeah, of course.
Um, and then whenever I turned 18 and I was in the military, now finally living on my own, well, in the barracks,
Yeah,
not really on your own. You have a
yeah,
roommate,
of course.
uh, and having your own time as an adult, right? After work, you get out of the military after 5 o'clock or flag call is over, boom, you're off work as long as they don't call you back. But
Right,
in the military, you're always working. It can be 2 a.m. and then first sergeant hits you up, hey, formation right here outside the barracks. All right, you better be there
right,
type
right,
of
right,
situation.
right.
Um, so you're always on call.
For sure.
But yeah, 18 was really where I started to find bodybuilding and
Right.
to develop more muscularity, but I
Yeah.
was still tiny. In the bodybuilding world.
How much bigger were you when you left the army than when you started? So you,
So whenever I got out of the army, I was 195 pounds.
all right. So you put on some good weight. That's like, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
So when did, so you're bodybuilding through this whole time and you leave the army. What do you tell yourself you're going to do? Like you're left the army now. You're like, what am I going to do? Like, what was your plan for life, for a job,
So
for anything?
I knew that I wanted to do something that involved fitness and the health,
Okay.
scene. I was I was incredibly inspired by Greg Plitt at the
Okay.
time, rest in peace.
Yep.
And so I was like, man, I see similarities with this guy. I kind of have this guy's personality, but this guy's doing it right. He's on hundreds of magazine covers. He's got a crazy looking physique. I felt that I had an awesome physique. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try to be a fitness model and get on fitness covers
Okay.
and
That's cool.
so I started a journey with fitness modeling, and that was a experience and a waste of time. And then
How long did the fitness modeling phase last?
it lasted from the first week that I got out of the military. I did my first photo shoot the very next weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then it lasted until the 2014. So from I got out of the military in June of 2014, and then I was invited to the Mr. Olympia that year in September.
Okay.
Not invited by them, but by a photographer. And I set up with like a bunch of photographers to get photo shoots done. So I was super excited for that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and do like 6 or 7 photo shoots at the Mr. Olympia.
Right.
Uh, not even being involved in the bodybuilding sport side yet. I still
Yeah.
had no fucking clue that I was going to ever step on a stage.
Right.
I'd been aware of it, but I was like, nah, I don't care to compete. I want to do the Greg Plitt thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got to the Mr. Olympia and I saw the men's physique guys. I saw the men's physique, Jason Poston, Jeremy Buendia, Sadiq, Steve Cook. I think that was like the top 4 or 5 guys. There might have been one more guy, I don't remember his name. But yeah, and I remember looking at those guys and then thinking to myself, I said, those are the best guys in the world. I feel
Oh
like I can
no.
compete with those guys.
Holy fuck. So
So
so you don't have a lack of confidence. We'll say that.
man, I was ready to compete. I'm a real competitor.
Right.
And whenever I go for something, I really go for it.
Right.
And I want to win. I'm telling you, I hate to lose, but who doesn't?
So you started competing. So you saw those guys. Did you start competing the following year?
So I literally, because I was in shape for the photo shoots, and that
Right.
was like September, mid-September.
Right.
Uh, I did my very first NPC show October 18th.
Was it a men's physique show?
It was a men's physique
You
show.
started men's physique, and how'd you do?
Yeah, at the Formulation One Classic, and I won the show.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so I self prepped for it, won the men's physique show, and then NPC Nationals was 4 weeks later. But I was already invited. I had tickets to go on a cruise 2 weeks later. So there was a cruise. I had a 7-day cruise 3 weeks out from Nationals. And
Yeah.
whenever I came home, it was 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you go?
That's how serious I was in the beginning. I went, yeah, I went, I was eating the unlimited ice creams, the pizzas, and yeah.
So this
Uh,
is just going to show some people real quick. This is Logan Franklin this is you as a men's physique competitor. This is on the Olympia stage.
the top left picture is when I won nationals. That's the show
Holy
I'm talking about. Yeah.
shit. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
what?
natural right there. I
You
was
know what?
179 pounds.
That actually is a really, you know what? You're not fucking lying. That's a really nice physique. That's what, you know what? That's what and people are going to fucking, maybe people are going to shit on me. I don't know. This is what I think men's physique should be.
Yeah, that
Because
was what
because now the guys are fucking jacked as fuck in men's physique. So
yeah.
I'm like,
It
this is
doesn't make sense now. The men's physique guys, they could all be doing classic.
yeah,
They're wasting their potential.
yeah, yeah. So this is you. Holy shit.
Yeah,
So you rode this train for how long? Because here you are on the.
way too long.
So how many years you started in 2015 on men's physique?
So I won the overall of the NPC Nationals
That's
uh,
2014.
in 2014, and then I did my pro debut in March of 2015, and I was 1 point from winning. I almost won my pro debut. I placed second behind James Hurst,
I don't know who James Hurst is.
men's physique guy,
Okay.
obviously from back in the
I
day.
I don't follow men's physique that closely,
Yeah,
so I wouldn't know. But
no,
you were
you're
second
fine.
there. You were second there, and then you just decided to keep. Was Classic? Has Classic started by then yet?
Classic came around in 2016,
Okay, so when
but
you
not
were
yet.
competing in men's physique and Classic popped up, did you look at those guys and think I want to go over there, or how long did that break take you, like to move over?
So the coach that I had at the time was definitely saying you could cross over if you wanted to and start this way.
Right.
But at at that point in my career, I was set on, I wanted to win the men's physique Olympia. I want to go beat Jeremy Buendia.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
want to beat these guys.
Right.
And because I had already, started that journey. I was like, I have to see this through
Right.
first, right?
Right. Right.
And so I wasted more years of my competitive career in men's physique. Went to the 16 Olympia, the 17 Olympia, the 18 Olympia. I could have done the 19 Olympia, but I decided to transition in 2019 after the men's physique Arnold Classic in 2019.
Right.
That was my last show. I decided to do Classic from there.
Right. I think there's a picture of it up here. This is your
Right.
last. This is the
That's
Arnold
my
Classic
final
final.
men's physique. I hated that pose too. That's not my favorite men's physique
This is the final
pose.
form of Logan Franklin
Farewell.
men's physique. Goodbye.
Well, you can see I hit a front double bicep at the end with a vacuum somewhere
Yeah.
on that stage. You can see how tiny I was.
I don't know, man. I'm happy. I'm happy you moved on because there's fucking
Oh man,
because this is wild shit. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like
thank
you,
you.
the physique that you're bringing now is like this is kind of the unique shit I'm talking about. There's, you know, yeah. Anyway, this is. I think you made the right move. So when you moved over, did it feel comfortable? Were you happy? Like, is this where you want it to be? Were you like, all right, I get to pose and actually like do some
Yeah,
bodybuilding shit?
man, I started having so much fun, so much more fun when I started pursuing classic
Right.
because when I was wasting my time in men's physique in the gym and I'm always looking at my physique, I was never doing the silly like ab flail dance moves. I was trying to see how I looked with poses.
Right.
And even before I knew I was gonna go to a classic, I was doing,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
flex my arms
Of
and
course,
trying to
man.
see how everything.
Everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see, yeah, even the men's physique guys now do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was I saying?
So you moved over. So you moved over to Classic, and you're having a lot of fun,
Yes.
and
Yeah. So
it felt like home. You were like, I'm good here.
yeah, the 2019 Tampa Pro, that was my classic debut.
Okay.
I placed third, and I felt like I posed like shit, and I actually got roasted too because everyone was saying, "Oh, this guy's coming from men's physique. Don't let the men's physique guy win." That was the chatter
Well, that
in
was the
that
noise.
time.
Yeah.
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 So then, whenever the show went down, I mean, I didn't have any help with my posing or anything. Well, I had a posing coach, but something happened. Unfortunately, I don't want to get into that,
You
but I'll
don't have
just
to.
some issues happened, and we never worked together, right?
Okay.
So the show came, and everyone online was like, "Dang, he sucks at posing. Go back to men's physique."
Oh
And
no.
and like I said, I'm a competitor. I'm a real competitive guy, and that right there just lit a fuse in me. And I was like, you know what? I never want people to say that I pose like shit again.
Yeah. Is this the show?
That's
This
the
picture?
yeah, that's it.
Dude, you fucking look good there, man.
Thank you.
Where I want to see if this. Oh, that's a New York Pro. Uh, yeah, I don't think there's any others. That's the only one.
Well,
Um,
let's see. You could probably type in more. I saw a picture from it earlier.
it's okay. We'll move on from there. So you get the chatter. Where do you place at that Tampa show?
I placed third.
Okay. Were you happy with that, or you like,
I wanted to win.
of course. Look, everybody.
Yeah, I was happy.
Were you
I was
like,
happy because it was
yeah,
different. It was
right,
I've just placed third in a different division, and
right,
and the guys that beat me were just big, they
yeah,
had a lot of muscle,
right.
and it was
So when you go to Classic, you decide to make the move to in 2019. Chris is already like, I think Chris is on top of it at that point, right? I think 2019, he's already Mr. Olympia.
I think so. Right, right. I think 2019 it was his first year he won.
Either he won or he was close. Regardless, when you're looking
Oh, he
at,
won. 2019 was his first win.
okay, so you're looking at the guys in 2018, like Breon, like
Yeah.
Chris, like these guys, Terrence, and you're looking at them and you're thinking, are you thinking I can beat them? I can get there? What are you
No,
thinking?
I'm thinking I can get there.
Okay.
I was thinking I have the shape that can compete with them. But at the time, I mean, I was looking at Breon and going, oh, fuck, man, like that guy's back.
He's thick as
And
fuck, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and as a men's physique guy, at barely 200 pounds, I did my classic debut. I weighed 203 pounds,
Yeah. What's your cutoff at your weight?
227.
Oh, fuck. So you still had 25 pounds to go almost.
Yeah, yeah. So
Crazy.
yeah. And nowadays, men's physique guys, they're weighing 220 something pounds at my height and they still won't cross over. And I'm
Right.
going, dude, I crossed over 30 pounds ago, brother. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
So
uh
where are you now? Where are you are you maxed out now?
Yeah, but I just refine,
Yeah,
I've
but
been
the reason I'm asking you that is like I talked to Stefan, boss, Urs coach,
okay,
and he was telling me, Urs drops X amount of pounds of muscle every year to get on
crazy.
stage in classic. Yeah. Are you in that? Do you have that problem, or are you like making weight pretty easily?
Never have that problem. And I
Okay.
wouldn't say making the weight fairly easy either. So back to whenever I say I diet year round,
Right.
I never get over 240 pounds. I've never seen the scale never say 241.
Okay.
And whenever I see 240, it'll be 240 for like a day and a half. And then all of a sudden I'm back down at like 237. And this is in the off season
Is
as
that
well.
is that because you're okay? I'm gonna ask you
I
some
don't
questions.
take a fuck ton of gear. I don't in the
No,
off
no, no.
season.
I know. I
I
just want to
don't,
ask him. I want to ask some questions that might sound stupid, but I want
oh
to
my God.
just. I'm just gonna
Sorry.
put up. No, 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 no. It's. I just. I'm curious about something. Do you want to get bigger? Like in the off season, are you like? I know you want to refine, and I know you're training hard,
Right.
but are you like? Do you ever think to yourself, I'm gonna maximize my food more? I want to get like. Do you ever think I want to get bigger and then come down to classic, or are you like I'm happy where I am because I fit right into the class?
So my mindset is never biggering. I'm never
Okay.
like, oh, I just want to be big, 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 big.
Right. Right.
My mindset is I want all of the quality
Right.
and whatever quantity that comes with me chasing the quality is what I'll accept.
Okay.
And because I want to develop the ultimate physique, the ultimate proportions, where every muscle is strided and completed, you know, and flows correctly. Because
Sure.
there is a difference between, someone that's 230 pounds and someone that's 230 pounds. And that's their proportions and how their muscles are set up, right? So uh, I stay right there. I stay right there.
When you saw Urs move to open, did that make he had a lot of fun and he won and all that shit and there's a big fan response.
Right.
Did you think to yourself that could be me one day, or is that out of the question for you?
I would never do it the way he did it. Never.
What does that mean?
Meaning I would never jump 30, 40 pounds in one season ever. It's not
Oh,
my
I see what you're saying. I see what
yeah,
you're saying. Yeah.
I don't ever want to look back at pictures of myself and go, why did I do that? Why did I
What does that mean?
means take my aesthetics away.
But would
To
you?
grow too fast. To
Yeah.
grow too fast and lose my lines.
Right, right, right,
I
right.
I only want to be as big as what my physique
What your frame can hold.
can hold. I'm
Right.
not going to chase anything past that.
So
I'm not
do you think open guys, not all, but some or a lot of them are way past what their body can hold?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why, so you don't,
Most.
so
Most.
if I said you don't really like open bodybuilding, not as like a sport, just like for yourself, like you don't really see yourself looking like that.
Never. I never see myself
Okay.
with maximum muscle fullness
I got you.
and
Uh,
just walking around ultra huge. Like I
You don't want to be ultra
well,
huge. So like,
yeah,
I know you train at Hunter's gym. So you see Hunter at the gym. Obviously he's awesome, got a ton of fucking muscle, but you don't ever see yourself in those shoes.
fuck no. Fuck no. If I if I I am wanting to do an open show, before I am done,
Before you retire, yeah.
just because I want to like the way Chris did it. I think Chris did it right.
See
You
what it
know,
looks like. Yeah.
yeah, he did it right. He completed his physique, maximized all of his every muscle was completed,
Right.
and he was perfectly set up for him, right?
Right. Right.
He
Right.
just he just filled into the open,
Right.
but he was peeled everywhere. Every muscle was strided, and he just looked ridiculous. He should have won. He did win,
Right.
but
Well, he can't win based on open criteria, right? Yeah,
but he
UFC.
should.
I think
What is the
UFC.
criteria?
Well, this is the thing. I think you see physiques
Differently. You're right.
very differently, right? Like
Yeah.
you're looking at every muscle fiber.
I'm looking at everything from the
Yeah.
pose.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the
that's not open.
everything.
Yeah. Open
And he
is
was big enough.
yeah.
Chris was big enough. I think that there's a point where it's like, okay, well, what's how big does he got to be? You know?
I don't disagree with you in some sense, but I also think that open just has that criteria.
Okay, but
The
what
criteria is
about
how full, like the size of the muscle belly is. It's that class is just heavily weighed on that.
yeah, but why? It used to not be.
That's not true.
Why does
That's not
everyone
true.
okay,
The biggest guy is always won.
okay, but they were big, but they all had quality.
No,
Like Kevin Levrone. Let's say back to like Kevin Levrone, Dorian Yates, those that era, right? Everyone was trying to chase the size of Dorian Yates and then the size of Ronnie Coleman.
right,
So we have the Kevin Levrones, the Sean Ray, the Flex Wheelers, these gentlemen they were the real classic guys
right,
that just started to get bigger and bigger from the classic point, right?
right, right,
That's what I think that it should stay. That's big enough. Like I said, Chris was with the shape of
right.
everything is there, but not over it's not so big where they lost their separations. Kevin, hey, they all had their separations.
The thing
Chris
is,
Cormier,
the
every
thing,
one of them they were big and maximized, but
right.
they did not lose the aesthetics.
But the thing that happened was everybody was chasing Dorian.
Right.
Dorian was the biggest guy on stage, not the most aesthetic guy, had small arms, didn't have like crazy sweeps on his legs, had a little bit of a gut, had a crazy back, obviously, and some crazy overall, an insane physique, but not aesthetic.
Right.
The Sean Rays were aesthetic, the Flex Wheelers were aesthetic. Dorian Yates was not aesthetic, and he was the guy winning, right?
Conditioning on him.
Conditioning, sure, but you still have guys with that conditioning now. Nick Walker, Hottie, Hottie's separated in and out. Samson may not be the same, but Samson has the shape. So it's like
Right.
you also have to. I made this point when Urs won. People are like, the 90s was the golden era of bodybuilding. And I say to them, that's because at that period of time, there's two factors that are different. Number one, the judging was different. And number two, the pool of people that entered bodybuilding there was only bodybuilding. Right now, if you took imagine all of the awesome physiques that are in men's physique, right? Imagine all of the awesome physiques that are in classic. Take all of those guys and put them into open bodybuilding and see the depth of the lineups and how crazy they would look.
Oh yeah.
The difference
It
now
looked
is
crazy.
the difference now is they've separated it all into three different groups so that they've said, okay, the open guys, you guys have to be fucking huge.
Right.
And you're sitting in the class that you like, which is more of the 90s era, which is almost how it's judged too, because classic, like the way they judged the 90s guys was more on their peaks were more flat. Like they didn't have round, like full, like almost blurry muscle.
Yeah.
They were more like chiseled and etched. They almost wanted like a flatter look. Like if you were peaking for a show, you wouldn't peak to 100%. You would just eat like up to 90 so that you still had those really crisp lines. They don't want that now. Now they want the guys to be blasting full. Every muscle's got to be super fucking round and like they want the guys maxed out.
Now, is that's what they want them to, or is it because that's just what everyone is doing and everyone is trying to chase this number 300 on the scale and and people are getting to the point now where yeah, we're all competitive. I'm not the only competitive guy, so I get it. I get the sense of urgency for people to want to win and the temptations that come with wanting to do whatever it takes and taking as much gear as it takes, eating as much food as it takes,
Right.
training as heavy as they possibly can,
Right.
just because they think that this is how I have to do it because this is how I have to get big. But if they were to say take their time and still, yeah, sure, try to get big, but do it with the quality.
Right.
Maybe we would have these bigger guys, slightly less big,
Right.
but they would look way bigger because everyone is so separated and ridiculous.
But there's two things. One, you're making a lot of generalities that
Yes.
aren't aren't actually like if I look at Samson's training is like very, very high volume. All
Okay.
right. It's not just like massive poundages. It's always been that way too. He doesn't eat a ton of food. The guy's just a fucking freak. He grows like looking at food, right? I'm sure there are some cases though where you're right, where guys are like, I'm going to take a fuck ton of gear. I'm going to eat as much food as I can. But the second point I was going to make is it's the judges that make that criteria, right? If Dorian Yates wins and he's the biggest guy over Flex Wheeler, that sends a message. That's sent is Flex Wheeler, you look like the most statuesque physique ever in history, but this guy's got more muscle.
Yeah.
In 1993, Flex Wheeler might have had the most beautiful physique to ever step on a bodybuilding stage. But they were like, Dorian Yates is bigger. He's big, he's got more muscle, he's in better condition, and he's got two of the three pillars, right? You got muscularity, condition, and symmetry.
Right.
If his muscularity and condition is better, he beats you on two or three things. So he's probably going to beat you in all the shots.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is they dictated at that point, and they kept on dictating. When Ronnie Coleman was a little bit off in 2001 against Jay Cutler, Jay Cutler was a little smaller, but symmetry was lights out. They still gave it to Ronnie Coleman because he was bigger, even though he wasn't as sharp as he normally is. So like at every turn in the open class, what you see consistently is the bigger guy always wins.
Right.
So if the judging keeps telling you that, that's how it's going to go. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I hear you. I
you
hear
know what I
you.
mean? The guys are only doing what it takes. And if the judges are telling them, hey, we want you to be fucking huge, like look, Chris and Martin, perfect example. They could have said in that show, Chris wins. It's more quality. That's what we want. But I don't think they can anymore because they have a second class. If you want quality and shape, go to classic. If you
Okay, but
want,
what about the guys that are in between? Like where Chris was whenever he moved.
that's where you got Urs. I mean, Urs stepped on stage, obviously gave up a little bit of that like separation,
Mhm.
but I thought he had great shape with a lot of dense muscle. He looked like he fit right in between. You know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Definitely.
And I think if Urs can keep growing and keep that shape, he can be that in between guy you're talking about.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Especially once Urs is able to harden up at that size, harden
Yeah.
up and everything tighten and yeah,
You're
he's gonna
you're looking you're looking for an open guy that has your detail. That's tough, man. Like that's a Sean Roden. Like that doesn't happen every day. Like that's very, very rare, especially when these guys are hitting weights of 250, set 270, 280. It's not I imagine in my mind, as long as we are chasing like guys like that, it's going to be hard for them to have the detail that you have, which is what you're looking for.
right.
You're looking for the detail that you have, or like a Jose Ma, or like that kind of. I don't know if we're going to see that in open bodybuilding because the guys would have to give up too much fullness. Like a
Mhm.
guy would have to be really flat almost to have that level of separation. So you know what I
Okay.
mean? So anyway,
Yeah, I hear you.
so going back to the original point is that's not for you. You
That's
see,
not for me.
yeah,
Go back, yeah.
yeah.
If that's the way it's gonna be, then yeah, I'll probably never be up there. I'll go back to men's
Um,
physique before I go that. I'm just
I wanted to cover. I wanted to cover. It's okay though. That's cool though. No, that's cool. You know what? And I know like in the 90s they only had one class, but I actually kind of like now that they have three classes
right,
because it gives everybody at home. Like you want to be detailed and peeled out of your fucking mind, and you like watching that. Think about it too. There's people that want to watch that. Like there's people that like watching classic more than open because they
right.
want to see that crazy detail and shape and like hardness that you're just not going to get in the open class, you know? So it's kind of cool that there's a little bit of something for everybody. Do you know any, are you following open bodybuilding at all, or you don't follow open bodybuilding?
Sort of. I
Do you not,
follow it enough. I say I follow it enough to know kind of what's going on.
do you follow it enough to give me predictions?
I don't like predictions. I don't like predictions because whenever people try to predict something and then they leave my name out of it, I get butthurt too. So
Mm,
I don't want anyone to be like, oh fuck that guy, he left me out of the top
I
whatever.
know it happens to me all the
Yeah.
time, dude.
Yeah, so
I
I'm just
can't.
like, whatever, dude.
I'm doing this media thing. Whenever I do predictions or whatever, and I leave somebody's name out, I get an email or a text or something. Um, what about predictions for Classic?
I'm gonna win.
Well, other than that, I want to know where you see I want to know where you see the other guys. I want to know where you see the rest because listen, I don't know a lot about Classic. I'm only learning now,
Right.
and I'm very impressed by all the physiques. And the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, holy fuck, there's some really cool physiques in this division. I it's crazy to me because I see guys like Matt Grego who are just like humongous. And then I see guys like Terrence Ruffin who are very small structured but very detailed.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like,
Very well done.
right.
But that
So
goes back to the size
yeah,
over the quality, you know?
right. No, I get it. I get it. So if you're a judge, can I do this with you or no?
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay, can you give me like a
Now,
top five or top 10? Well, whatever you think.
I'll give you a top five in
Okay.
no particular order.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel the top five guys, if and this is saying hypothetically speaking, you know, everyone is on. Everyone is
Yeah.
there's no complaints, no one missed their peaks. Oh, this guy could have done something better. We don't want to hear all that. Okay. I'll have
I do have a question for you before you start.
okay.
When you lost to Arnold, did you feel, and I know as a competitor what the answer is, but like really in your heart, when you look back at the photos and everything, did you feel like you should have won? Like, did you feel like your physique is the standard that should be the standard, or do you feel like he beat you for a reason and you still have work to do?
I feel like there's always work to be done.
Okay.
And that it was very close. I think that it was very close. I hate to see the scorecards and when people are like, oh, but he won every pose. I don't think he won every pose or
Right.
whatever, like on every criteria, because I know that I'm more separated everywhere, you
Right.
know.
Right.
The detail. I know that Mike has some areas of muscle that are slightly more filled out than mine, like his lats. I could use a little bit more lat thickness,
Right. Right.
but my lat detail is like miles ahead, right?
Right. Right.
So it's I think that I could have used a little bit more development in certain areas,
I
not
got you.
necessarily just being bigger, but just
Yep.
areas being slightly more enhanced,
I get it.
which is the
I got
proportions that you're
right.
constantly chasing.
Do you think you had that? I know one off season is not really long enough to do too much, but do you think your Florida Pro look was better than your Arnold look?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Now,
Let's take a
maybe
look. Take a
not
look.
polished because we're saving that true peak for the Olympia,
Right.
but I'm most definitely improved from muscularity and symmetry, proportion aspect. You know,
Can I ask
uh,
you a question about getting conditioned? Do you think when you're getting in this ultra condition, you may be sacrificing a little bit of roundness to some of the muscle?
um, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to answer that.
Sure.
Just
But
because
this,
I never really see myself ultra round. I never see myself with blurry lines, and
right.
I always have a six pack. You can always see my obliques
Right.
in the off season. So I
This
don't
is a
know.
great fucking physique, man. This is amazing. So this is
Thank you.
your Florida Pro win, and you spending some time obviously gloating about it. Um, that's amazing. Yeah. So do you like this? I know you said you're saving the ultra hard look for the Olympia, but do you like that little bit rounder look, or do you like the ultra like skinned out, fucking peeled out to the max?
Well, I want to try to be round like that and
And
ultra
field.
field to
That's right. That's right. That's right.
that.
All right. Let's see what your top five is.
Okay, top five, no particular order.
Oh no.
Logan,
Oh, no particular order.
no particular
Okay,
order,
no particular order. Okay.
because I don't want to. Because here's the thing: these top five guys that I'm going to name now, we're all so close in a manner that, like, if one person
Yeah.
corrects like one little thing,
Yeah.
it could be what's the reason why someone wins over the others.
Right. Right.
Um,
Okay. Logan.
that's what's exciting. Okay, Logan,
Yep.
Terrence,
Terrence, of course.
Mike,
Of course.
Joe Hema.
Okay.
And now this name is going to be fully determined because that's four.
Yeah.
Now the fifth guy, I want to say Ramon,
Okay.
but at the same time, I do not want to say Ramon because I do not believe 1 second Ramon is going to make weight
Yeah, I know, right? He looks fucking
and that
huge.
he has been making weight. There's something fishy, but I don't think he's making weight. And I'm going to watch
What the
his.
fuck does that mean? You
I'm
think
just
this?
saying, I don't want to see him get taller randomly because
He's
we
gonna
had
just grow. He's gonna grow the day of the show.
yeah. So if Ramon
Yeah.
makes weight,
Okay, he's in the top five.
he's in the top five.
If he doesn't, who's a sub?
Breon,
Is Breon doing classic?
hell yeah.
Okay, Breon. Okay, you think Breon's better than? That's interesting because Breon, I feel like, has shown a little bit of his age.
Yeah, I see
Do you
him
think
starting to
Breon?
wear slightly, but I still see Breon is so good that he's still better than the rest.
Well, I'm just thinking about like One Punch and that. What's his name? Nile.
Nile is phenomenal.
Nile.
I
Or
hear
Matt.
you. Nile is phenomenal.
I know Matt
Nile
Greg.
is that sixth guy.
Yeah, because I know like Matt Grego is more of like a mass guy.
Yeah, Nile. I think Nile beats Matt Grego.
Yeah, I can see that. So Nile, Breon, Ramon. I'll even the
Nile is interchangeable with Breon and Ramon. Nile could be that fifth guy too,
right.
easily.
What about somebody like Menegate?
Oh, Mitigante, they've been trying to shove this guy in my face for a while.
What does that mean?
They're the Brazilian fans,
This
they're
is
like
better.
always on my page.
The longer we talk, the more I get from you.
I can see him. I can see him in the top 10.
Yeah, yeah, I like his physique.
I can see, yeah, it's he has a classic physique, but I think his quality isn't there. I think
Not yet. Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, I think he needs some areas of refinement, like a lot. He has a very I don't want to say anything to where that gets fucking blown out of proportion. Here we go. He could use more chest, He
He
could,
needs a little more. He's still young. I think he's still
yeah.
pretty new. He needs
It's a
some
new
time.
physique,
Yeah.
It's a new physique.
I have some personal questions before you go. I don't want to keep you too long. We've been on a little over an hour here, so
Okay.
I see a lot of pictures with your little boy.
Yeah.
What's it like being a dad and showing like, do you show him all the stuff you're doing?
Oh, man.
Do you want him to be a bodybuilder? Like I
You
think
know,
I don't have children of my own, so whenever I see this, it's really cool.
man, I just want him to I want to help him find his passion and whatever that is, I want to help him achieve whatever. If it's bodybuilding, it's bodybuilding. If it's in MMA, it's MMA,
Yeah.
football, baseball. If it isn't even in a sport, if he wants to be a fucking inventor or whatever, scientist, I whatever it is, I don't care. But man, I love being a dad. And oh, look right there with myself and Ramon.
Where?
That was one picture up from there. One
This
up
one.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so 11 weeks ago, we were the same height and he's supposed to make weight. I mean, I don't
I don't know. You're crazy, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. This is fucking awesome, man. I know, and I know she's still active in the fitness world, or not fitness,
she,
but like, is she
she's
still?
retired from competitive.
Yeah, but
But
is she doing anything like modeling wise or any of that, or is
I
she
know modeling. She's just enjoying life as a
being a
mom.
mom? Yeah,
And I'm really happy for her to be able to do that.
yeah, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to ask you about, and you were posting more of it earlier on. I noticed, but you're a car guy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't post my car too often. I hate whenever I do. I feel like people might think I'm throwing
Yeah, well, you know
my
what?
stuff in
Sometimes,
their
listen,
face.
I know what you mean, but at the same time, when you work hard, I feel like you should be able to show your hard work.
Right.
And it takes a lot of hard work to get. Is this a GT3?
Yes, sir.
Is this, tell me your car history. I want to see how good or bad it is. What's your first car?
My very first car was a 1994 Chevy Cavalier.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. Okay, what was after that?
It was a 2009 Camaro V6.
2009 Camaro. Okay, move it up. V6 though, not the V8.
Yeah.
What was
And
after that?
350Z, a
Okay.
2007 350Z. And then after that, I got a 2009 Shelby GT500.
Now you're talking. Okay, so you got to,
Wrecked it.
of course, everybody wrecks a Mustang.
Got another Shelby GT500 a month later. Wrecked it.
Oh no. Is it just like the car videos where you're doing like a fishtail and then you
It
fucking end
was
up
just like a
and
car
oh my
video.
God. What
Yeah.
the fuck,
Yep.
dude?
I was in a odd place.
Okay. So you
Um,
wrecked two GT500s, then what?
yep. Right after I came home from Afghanistan.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
yep. And then let's see. After that, I didn't have a car whenever I went to Korea, came home, and I bought an Audi S5.
Okay, so you're learning. You went from American with no fucking
Yeah.
steering capabilities to an
Yeah.
Audi S5. Okay, so you went to
Yep.
Audi S5, then
And then
what?
after the Audi S5, I got a C7 Vet.
Ooh, nice. I had one of those.
Yeah, it's very nice. I liked it.
Z06 or Stingray?
It was a Stingray, but I built it.
Oh, okay, so you built it up.
Yeah.
Manual or automatic?
That was a an automatic.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
My S5 was a manual. All
Yeah.
my Shelbys were a manual. My GT or my
Why automatic on the Corvette then?
I don't fucking know. It was just I was like, oh shit, a Corvette. I can afford it. Let me get it.
Right. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I've been there.
I was hyped that I was finally buying a Corvette,
I know, right?
at 20, what was I, 25?
Before we move on to the next car, so I had a Corvette before I got rid of it. I've been into motorcycles now for a little bit, but I do want the new Corvette.
Yeah, the new
The C8
CR1.
Z06. I can't afford the ZR1 here because the ZR1 here in Canada is probably like, it's not that I can't afford it. I don't want to spend that money. It's like it's probably going to be like 300 grand. And I don't want to spend 300 grand. So
Just wait a couple years.
yeah, I know the Z06 is fucking pretty nice though. It's 650 horse and I've driven it. I had it for a whole weekend and you can put down all the power. It's not like the C7.
Oh yeah, because the mid-engine. Now
Yeah.
the C8, that Z06 is nice.
Yeah.
If I were to get another vet, it would definitely have to be either a Z06 or a ZR1.
The ZR1's fucking sweet.
So nice. So nice.
Thousand horse is nice.
Yeah.
Just to say to somebody, I got 1,000 horse out of the box.
Yeah. I'm not even going to use it all, but
No, I just got it just for the fuck of it. Yeah. Okay. What was after the vet?
I got a GTR.
Oh, nice. So you went
Yeah.
from like rear wheel drive, fucking hot rod to
All-wheel drive.
all wheel drive,
Turbo.
fucking yeah,
Yeah.
corner carver.
Yep. Built that up. And
To
then
what? When you say built it up, to what?
it was like 800 wheel horsepower.
Oh, fuck, that's
Yeah.
awesome. An all wheel drive car.
All drive. Yeah. That was
Oh,
fun.
fuck, you must have been killing people off the line.
I
What was
was
that?
killing people on the freeway too.
Yeah. What was after that? Now that's your GT.
Three.
GT3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's a
And this
good
is the
that's a
best
good
one by a
history.
long shot.
You think so?
Yeah, by a long shot.
Was
Not the
that
fastest by any means. Like if we were to line them up and
right?
on the freeway and run them,
Right.
but I don't even really care about that anymore. It just sounds
No.
I've done everything to it,
Yeah.
full exhaust, headers, everything. I've done everything to the car.
Really?
Sounds absolutely amazing. And that's just what I like. I keep it in the right gear.
Good.
I just dictate traffic if I want to. Enjoy myself.
So so listen, everybody has a thing they waste money on. Is that your thing? Cars?
Yeah, yeah. I literally don't have any
You
other
have any other
hobby.
vice? Any other vice other than cars?
Bodybuilding and
Yeah.
eating clean because I reinvest so much money into the quality of food for myself and my family.
Right.
So yeah, we
Does
spend a
your
lot of money on food.
does your kid eat kids stuff, or is it just like barely ever?
He eats like a freaking bodybuilder.
Really?
Yeah. And not because like I want to force him to eat like a bodybuilder, but it's just real food. It's
Right.
not I say eat like a bodybuilder. He eats like a human should. He eats real food. Like I cook his
Yeah.
my wife
Yeah.
or I will cook his grilled chicken,
Yeah.
eggs. You know, he eats bananas, almond butter,
Just
oatmeal.
regular shit, normal
Yeah,
shit.
regular shit. He doesn't
Yeah.
eat he doesn't eat candy. He never has candy. He'll have a Reese's peanut butter cups every day, like a pack of them.
Yeah.
That's his snack. He loves Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
And he'll eat some Cheetos. But other than that, he eats good quality food and
That's
makes me
awesome.
happy. I'll make him bison burgers.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I love it. I think all of it's awesome. I appreciate talking to you.
Hell yeah.
I
Same.
I'm really looking forward to Olympia. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it, obviously, because I have some surgeries coming up and stuff like that. But
Man.
um I'm excited to see what you come up with, and I'm excited to see the top five. Like
Yeah.
you guys are all. It's interesting. Everybody in the top five that you mentioned has a slightly, not even a slightly, some of them drastically different physique.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see what's going to happen in a few weeks.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And I hope that everyone is on because it's going to be a showdown and I am ready to show down. So I am hyped up, more motivated than ever. And it's just going to be it's going to be a good time. And the biggest winners are going to be the fans in the
Yeah.
audience that are going to be able to witness the battling and the posing
Yeah.
and whatever shapes that we all bring. So it's going to be cool.
Is there anybody you want to thank or a sponsor you want to thank or anything like that before we go?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sponsored by Dragon Pharma and Dark Sport. Been with them for a few years now each,
Yeah.
and they've believed in me even whenever no everyone else has seemed like to be giving up on me in the industry through all of my little rough uh, speed bumps and ups and downs and struggles to get to where I'm at. So, super appreciative of those companies and helping me chase my dream.
Nice.
Uh, Obviously, my wife is my number one supporter, and I really wouldn't be able to do this as well as I do without her. Just because of her being able to keep my home climate, my home environment so stable, and that keeps my mind and hormones and levels and everything just stable too because everything is so well
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So Patrick, my coach, I mean everything's going good. Everything's going good.
Are you
So
happy to be working with Patrick? It's been a couple of years now.
fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
You guys, it's funny. I've spoken to Patrick a bit. You guys definitely have the same ideas about food and quality and like all of
Right.
that. So it's a good marriage that way.
Yeah, he's a incredible mentor,
Yeah.
and I couldn't be more happy to be working with him than anybody else. I feel
Yeah.
like we have really clicked together on this. Like I said earlier in this podcast, I feel like we've really gotten on the same wavelength, and it's working really well.
That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, Logan, I appreciate the time, man. Thank you very much for the podcast. It only took me 3 years to get you on, but you're here.
My bad,
And
man.
no, fuck, I'm just joking around. I appreciate it, but I'll get this up soon, and thank you again, man.
All right, man. We'll do it again sometime.
Okay, brother.
Won't take 3 more years though. Okay.
Okay, brother. I'll talk to you.
All right. See ya.
Okay, bye bye.